Literally, as we were preparing to go live, I saw that the governors of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut have banded together and they are creating a 14-day quarantine period for visitors that are entering that region of the country from states with particularly high coronavirus infection rates. Now, if you're in America, you might be wondering, am I in one of those states that is going to be quarantined if I go to the Northeast? Well, as of right now, Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Washington, Utah, and Texas all have high enough coronavirus infection rates that if you go to the Northeast from one of those states, you will have to quarantine for 14 days. So bear that in mind. And that is as a result of the past few weeks of an explosion of cases in those states that we've been talking about quite a bit. And so, JR, I mean, I have no imminent plans to go to the Northeast, but Connecticut is my home state. California isn't yet one of those with high enough infection rates, but our infection rates have been going up virtually every day for more than a week now, and so we might soon pass that threshold. So if you're planning on visiting New York, you might want to leave soon.
Hurry up and get there as soon as possible. Yeah, it's going to happen that way. There's things with the opening up of things and how it's happened a certain way, and California is one of them, I think, that's beginning to fall victim to that same problem. You know, Southern Californians, especially where we live, we're seeing how it's happening where they're trying to get out. And there's tons of people here. So as it happens, it's natural that that's going to go that direction. It's going to go exponentially, I think, just because the sheer number of people and how crowding tends to happen. And I've seen many instances of people that just feel once I'm outside, it's like they went with Donald Trump's prediction back in April or maybe even March. He goes, when weather gets warmer in April, which it didn't, it'll be all gay. It'll be gone. It's all over. It's done. That's the way he said many things. So I feel like a lot of people subconsciously went with that. Like, we're outside. It's warm. Don't need a mask. It's it's unsettling when you see the number of people that aren't wearing masks.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, it's such an interesting thing because we're used to just looking at what are America's numbers. And that's
Yep.
important, certainly in comparison to other countries, but state by state, it does matter. And if you're in New York and New Jersey or whatever, and you've just gone through even worse hell than the rest of us, and now things are starting to get under control, and then you look south and west and you see it exploding, do you want people coming from that region and possibly causing your numbers to spike again? You don't. Now, in terms of what this quarantine actually looks like in practice, if you violate it, there are fines ranging between $2,000 and $10,000. And Governor Cuomo made clear this isn't like a blockade. It's not like when you get to the border, there's going to be tanks staring you down. So, like, it's sort of an advisory thing that you could be found out, hypothetically, but it's not like I've been told, at least in, I think, Australia, when you fly in from out of the country, like, you're put up in a hotel for 2 weeks, basically, before you can interact with anyone. It's not like that, but is it impossible that something like that could happen? If we start to, if Texas keeps going up for another 3 weeks and we're hitting 20,000 cases a day in one state, at that point, perhaps, I don't know. But anyway,
And
just a heads up.
easier. Yeah, and it's easier people flying in. So, like, say you live in DC area or something, you drive up to the northeast, you can just drive in. Who's at the border? It's not like it's the border from Mexico where there's this huge line and a bunch of barriers and people checking every car. It's not like it's like that. So, I think it's hopefully, I think from that point of view, probably a deterrent for people who know where they're coming from. Think it's not very welcoming here, and you just feel a little bit uncomfortable when you hear rules, even if they're not necessarily concrete and super enforceable. It gives people a couple moments to rethink their decision.
And so, anyway, that's the breaking news. We just want to let you know about it. Could happen in other states. I could see that becoming popular. Like, if you're looking down the barrel, basically, of states that are not taking it seriously. Although I'll just quickly mention, in terms of the people in the states, I saw an interesting way of trying to figure out what do people think about coronavirus. Is it affecting their behavior? And what they were doing was they were charting over time, state by state, open table dine-in reservations. So it's a tool that you can use to reserve a table, basically, to dine in at a restaurant. And you could see in states like Arizona, Texas, Florida, it going up and up and up as the coronavirus cases are going up. And the interesting thing is it has fallen significantly in recent days, indicating that while people might still be making a big political partisan thing out of wearing a mask, in terms of their behavior, the willingness to go to a restaurant and eat, it does seem like it is responding to coronavirus market pressures, I guess. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.